In today's video, I'm going over why the 2023 Conquest is the hardest knife to make in the 2023 collection. Be sure to stay until the end of the video because I'm sure you'll learn something new. Alright, what's up everybody? My name is Jack Billing, CEO and founder of shedknives. And like I said today, I'm going into why the 2023 Conquest is the hardest knife to make in the 2023 collection. So first off, this obviously is the 2023 Conquest. This is a beautiful blade here. We have a true tanto, have a very sharp edge, features G10 scales, kydex sheath, just all the great stuff put together. So this is a really high demand knife right now. This is a knife I featured in the top 3 2023 trending knives, so be sure to check that out. But let's get into it with point number one. Alright, so point number one, this knife has a tanto blade, which is a bit harder to grind. Now you might think, well, Jack, it's pretty simple. You have one angle here, you have one angle there. Well, actually, it's very tough just because of that. So I use a 36 grip belt, 2x72 belt sander, so that definitely helps a bit because we have that lower grit and that longer belt, so that helps get more length. So that helps get more use out of that belt there. It helps take more material off, but that means I have to line up my angles here because this is a tanto blade. If this was something like the 2023 Resilience, that'd be a little different. But because this is a tanto blade, that means all of my angles have to match. Now you might be wondering, Jack, what do you mean your angles have to match? I view each side here, when you're grinding on a belt sander, you need to view each angle as its own blade. So really I have 4 blades here that I need to put a hollow grind on. And specifically those 4 blades need to match up to one point. Right here, they need to match up to that point. So that means my blades must be the same exact height. The hollow grind must be the same height. And the tip of the blade here has to be matching with those same height angles. So that's very important as well. So that's very important to know. Let's move into number 2 now. Number 2 is the angles of the handle. The G10 here, this has an incredible feel. Believe me, if you have not picked up the 2023 Conquest, you have not felt a cool knife. This is really nice if you need to stab into a can, you need to stab into a tree, you need to pry, you need to use the back of the end here for maybe a self-defense situation, because that's what this knife was built for. So this knife has a lot of great features, but it comes at a cost for the maker here, which is just fine. I love it because I know for everything great, everything worth your effort, it's gonna take some effort, and the 2023 Conquest is a blade that takes some effort. So let's get into the G10 here. The G10, let's take a close look at this here. We have a curve at the top, we have a curve where our finger groove is, and we have a curve at the bottom for our other 3 fingers, and then it curves at the back. So nothing is straight on this except for the surface. Other than that, all of our sides, all of our angles, everything like that is curved. So when we're working the belt sander, when you're working the 2x36 grip belt sander for this handle here, you got to be very careful to not grind too much material off, because if you do, well, you got to start fresh, and that's time that you don't get back. So for all you knife makers, for all you craftsmen out there, always remember, you can always take more material off, but you can never put it back on. So got to be careful with these scales here. And then number 3, pretty simple, but let's talk about the kydex sheath. Kydex sheath here, most kydex sheaths are gonna click in 1 or 2 places, usually one place. For example, the Tuatara, it clicks where that pointer finger goes. With the Conquest, we're clicking in all sorts of places. We're clicking on the Sharpening choil, we're clicking on the very top of this angle here. We're clicking on the little holes here for the screws. So let's demonstrate that real quick. You see we have a click there, have a click here, and then the sharpening choil right there. So just stuff like that. It takes a bit because you have to make sure once again, all those angles are the same. So talking about angles, you have the blade angles, you have the Kydex angles, you have the G10 angles, you have all these angles. Maybe I should have paid more attention in math class because there's a lot of angles. But anyways, I make a pretty cool knife. Shed Knives has some pretty cool knives. So if you like this blade, I'll put a link in the description. You can go to shedknives.com, check out the 2023 Conquest. I've done a few other videos on this blade as well, which I encourage you to check out. If you found value in this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you like knife content, hit the subscribe. Share with a friend if you know someone who might like other videos like this. And I'll catch you in the next one.